It was late at night in the grand hallway of the luxurious Grand Regency Hotel, one of the most exclusive places in the city, where the rich and powerful came to escape the world. The marble floors gleamed under the soft chandelier lights, and the air smelled faintly of fresh flowers and expensive perfume. But in one quiet corner, away from the elevators, a young maid named Sophia sat on the floor, her back against the wall, sobbing quietly into her phone. Her uniform was neat but worn from long hours, her dark hair tied back in a simple ponytail. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "Mom, the doctor said it's getting worse. The hospital bills. I don't know how we'll pay. I send everything I have, but it's not enough." Her voice broke, and she covered her mouth to muffle the cries. She was only 22, working double shifts to support her sick mother back in their small hometown, dreaming of one day becoming a nurse herself. But dreams felt so far away now. Unseen by her, a tall man in an expensive suit stepped out of the penthouse suite at the end of the hall. Alexander Harrington, a billionaire tech mogul in his mid-30s, known for building an empire from nothing. He was used to boardrooms and private jets, not hallways at midnight. He had come out for a glass of water, but the sound of her crying stopped him cold. He stood in the shadows, listening, not out of nosiness, but because something in her voice tugged at him. It reminded him of his own past, when he was poor, scraping by, watching his single mother struggle. He didn't approach her that night. He didn't want to embarrass her. But as he went back to his suite, he couldn't shake the image of the young woman breaking down alone. The next morning, well, that's when everything changed. Sophia woke up early as always, her eyes still puffy from the night before. She splashed water on her face in the staff bathroom, put on her best smile, and started her shift. She pushed her cleaning cart down the hallway, knocking gently on doors for the rooms that needed servicing. When she reached the penthouse suite, the most expensive one in the hotel, she hesitated. It was occupied by some VIP, but the "Do Not Disturb" sign was off. She knocked. "Housekeeping," she called softly. The door opened almost immediately. There stood the man from the night before, tall, with sharp features, kind blue eyes, and a warm smile that didn't match his powerful presence. Alexander Harrington. "Good morning," he said gently. "Please, come in." Sophia nodded politely and wheeled her cart inside. The suite was enormous, like a private apartment, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city skyline. She started her routine, making the bed, dusting the tables, restocking the minibar. She tried to be invisible, like always. But Alexander watched her for a moment, then cleared his throat. "Excuse me, were you in the hallway last night? Around midnight?" Sophia's hands froze on the pillow she was fluffing. Her heart raced. Oh no. Had someone complained about the noise? Was she in trouble? She turned slowly, her face pale. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to disturb anyone. It won't happen again. Please don't report me, I need this job." Alexander's expression softened. He shook his head. No, that's not why I asked. I wasn't disturbed. I was concerned. You seemed really upset. Are you okay? Sophia stared at him, stunned. Guests never talked to her like this. They barely noticed her. It's personal, sir. Family stuff. I'm fine, really. Thank you for asking. He nodded, not pushing. But as she continued cleaning, he sat on the sofa with his coffee, pretending to read emails on his laptop. Finally, he spoke again. "You know, I overheard a little. About hospital bills. Your mom?" Tears welled up in her eyes again, but she blinked them back. "Yes. She's sick. Cancer. The treatments are expensive, and I'm the only one supporting her. But I'll manage. I always do. Alexander felt a pang in his chest. He knew that struggle all too well. When he was young, his mother had worked 3 jobs to raise him after his father left. They had lost everything once when she got sick. He had vowed never to forget where he came from. "What's your name?" he asked. "Sophia, sir. Sophia Ramirez." "Sophia, would you sit down for a minute? Please." She hesitated, but something in his voice, kind, not demanding, made her obey. She perched on the edge of a chair, hands folded in her lap. "I'm Alexander Harrington. And I want to help." Her eyes widened. "Help? Sir, I can't accept charity. I work hard." "It's not charity," he interrupted gently. "It's paying it forward. When I was your age, someone helped me when I was broke and desperate. A stranger gave me a chance. Let me do the same." Over the next hour, as Sophia opened up, telling him about her mother's diagnosis, the mounting bills, her dreams of going to nursing school, Alexander listened intently. He asked questions, not prying, but caring. For the first time in a long time, Sophia felt seen. Not as a maid, but as a person. By the end of her shift, Alexander had made a decision. He handed her an envelope. "This is for your mother's treatment. All of it. Paid in full at the best hospital in the country. And there's more, I've arranged for you to start nursing school part-time, with a scholarship in your name. No strings." Sophia opened the envelope with trembling hands. Inside were documents, transfer confirmations, everything. Tears flowed freely now. "Why? Why me? You don't even know me." Alexander smiled softly. "Because I do know you. I was you. And because kindness, it's what makes us human. In a world full of people chasing money and power, sometimes all it takes is one person to remind us that compassion changes everything." Sophia hugged him impulsively, sobbing thank yous. That day, her life transformed. Her mother got the best care and went into remission. Sophia excelled in nursing school, eventually becoming a head nurse at a top hospital. And Alexander? He stayed in touch, not as a boss or benefactor, but as a friend. He learned from her too, about resilience, gratitude, and the quiet strength of those who work behind the scenes. Years later, whenever someone asked Sophia how she made it, she'd smile and say, "A stranger saw me crying in a hallway, and chose kindness." Because in the end, no matter how rich or powerful we are, we're all just people. And one act of compassion can change a life forever. What did you think of this story? It reminds us that kindness costs nothing but can mean everything. If it touched your heart, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories like this one. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. See you in the next one.